Hey credit warriors, welcome to the show. And on this channel, we are all about using credit cards to earn points and then redeem those points for luxury travel experiences or for economy travel if that's what you prefer. But for me, it's always been those high-end redemptions that catch my interest, like United's Polaris Business Class, the British Airways Club Suite, the JetBlue Mint Business Class, and for hotels, I've stayed at the Ritz-Carlton, the W, the Hyatt Ziva all-inclusive resorts, all using credit card points and benefits. Well, my guest on the show today is also an expert at that, probably more expert than me. He specializes in his own words, putting people in beds on planes for free. So let me introduce to you the West Coast version of me, an Englishman, a fellow Englishman in America, also into credit card points and miles, Owen Beanie. How are you doing, Owen?
Good afternoon. How are we doing? People are going to start to think that we're doing a hostile takeover with the British accents, but I assure you, I've been here for 20 years. This is nothing new. I'll start off first of all by saying it's awesome. I've been hanging out and watching you for years. It's an absolute pleasure to be here. For those that don't know me, hello, my name is Owen. I am known as the Points Partner. And what I do is I help individuals maximize their credit card benefits. And I help people get as many credit card points and air miles as is mathematically possible for their lifestyle. And then I teach people how to use said points efficiently. In other words, I put people on beds on planes for free. That is what I do for a living. And my website, you can get credit cards, and I've got online courses, and I do public speaking and help people find and book these flights. So that's me. I'm ready to do this. What do you want to do today? You wanted to do like the five best things, right?
So in this video, I want to look at 5 secrets to using credit card points for free luxury travel. And this video is brought to you by Kudos, but more on that later. So Owen, let's get started.
Number 1, having the right credit cards. Now, it's very easy. Anyone can go on my website and grab a bunch of credit cards and get some points. But it's not just about grabbing a bunch of credit cards. In fact, the order in which you get your credit cards, this is called your sequence, is incredibly important. Different credit card companies have different rules and will allow you to get different cards with different bonuses at different times. So just understanding which credit cards to have is incredibly important. The order in which you get your credit cards, there is 5 styles of credit cards. The first one that you want is a lifestyle credit card. That's one that gets you extra points for your day-to-day spend on food, drink, gas, and that type of thing. That's called a lifestyle credit card. Amex Gold, Citibank Premier Card, Citi Custom Cash, anything that's going to give you yummy stuff for the day-to-day swiping on food and drink specifically, and gas, right? The second type of credit card that you want is a non-bonus category spend card. Now, we know about bonus categories: food, drink, gas, travel, marketing, office supplies. This is not that. For everything else, you need a non-bonus card that gives you 2 points for every dollar that you spend. Either the Citi Double Cash or the Amex Business Blue Plus or a Venture card, Venture X, Spark card, anything that's going to give you 2 points for every dollar that you spend. That's a non-bonus card. Third type of credit card, and this is not for everyone, but it is for most people, a premium credit card. One that's going to give you lounge access, extra purchase protection, and sort of more travel benefits, either some sort of clear global entry pre-check. Now we're getting into the reserves, and we're getting into the platinums, and we're getting into the Venture X's and that type of stuff, right? And the next one is a business credit card, even if you don't own a business, right? We've spoken about this 1,000 times, you and I offline. You don't need a business to get most business credit cards, and there's lots of yummy points to be had with business credit cards. And the last credit card you want is a co-branded credit card. That's one that's got a name that you recognize on it, whether it's Lowe's, Home Depot, Hilton, Hyatt, United, American, Delta, Southwest, Frontier, any of those. Anything that's branded with another person, co-branded, that's the last type of credit card that the average American needs to get. Okay, so that's
what's the reason for the co-branded card? Is that for like a certain airline that you frequently take so you can have priority boarding? Or?
with co-branded credit cards, you're not earning credit card points. You're earning your benefit in the local currency, either air miles or hotel points. Now, they're great cards, but they're the last type that you need. The number one type that you need is generic credit card points that can be transferred into airlines and hotel groups. The idea is you earn your points at the top with the credit card companies and you redeem them at the bottom with the airlines and hotel groups. And that's how you're maximizing the amount of points that you can bring in and minimizing the ones that go out. Okay. Now, that's just the order of credit cards. Then we got to talk about who you can move these points to. There are only a limited amount of credit card companies that will allow you to transfer your points into airlines and hotels, and they all transfer to different ones.
Are we on number two? Is this number two?
No, we're still on number one.
Still
the right
number one.
Credit cards.
Okay.
You got to make sure that you have a nice spread of credit cards so that you can transfer to the right places. Different credit card companies transfer to different airlines and hotel groups. So having just American Express cards isn't going to help you. You've also got to have the big blue bank. You've also got to have Capital One. You've also got to have Citi Thank You points. So having a nice spread of them.
Okay.
Number two, the right accounts. Now, what do I mean by accounts? I mean frequent flyer accounts with airlines. Okay. Different credit card companies. Here, I printed this out, and we can give everyone this chart. I made this chart called the Ultimate Transfer Chart. It tells you every credit card company, which airlines they transfer to, when they transfer, how long it takes for them to transfer, and what alliance they're a part of. And I'll give this away to all of your followers. I'll give you a link, and they can all download it.
Nice.
And have this.
We'll stick that down below.
This will tell you where you can move your points. And you need to open up accounts with all of those airlines so that your points can be received there. And once you've opened up all these accounts, which is free to do, you can go on any airline in the world, 175 airlines, put in your name, put in your address, it will give you an account number and a password. And you can then go and connect that to your credit card company. And you'll create a path, a virtual path between your credit card points and that airline where they become air miles. So when you find the perfect redemption, you just click one button, the points move straight across, you log out of the frequent flyer program and back in, and boom, your miles have arrived and you can book your bed on a plane for free. So the number two one is having the right accounts. Everyone should go and open up all those accounts immediately because some of them take 2, 3, 4 days to settle before you can even use them.
So like if, let's say you got an American Express card and you see there's like 17 transfer partners or however many it is, you'd recommend just opening accounts with all of them so you're ready?
Immediately.
Okay.
As soon as you finish watching, liking and subscribing this video, you should go and open up every single frequent flyer program. It doesn't cost anything, and some of those accounts need a few days to settle. So number two is the right accounts. We've just discussed that. And
sometimes there are transfer bonuses to some of those accounts, aren't there? Like right now, there is a transfer bonus to British Airways from Amex for 30%, I think.
But yeah, so I have my own private community. We call it the Inner Circle, and we meet every couple of weeks on Zoom. And every single week I start by telling people all of the transfer bonuses and how to make good use of them. But when you're searching in British Airways, just because we're both originally British, doesn't mean you just get British Airways flights. Right. You get everything within one world. That's American Airlines, that's Finn Air, that's Japan Air, and it's a million other places. Number three, the right search skills.
Now this is pretty crucial, isn't it?
This is the real deal, Holyfield here. If you don't understand how to search, you're never going to find a bed on a plane for free.
But first, stop using multiple different shopping portals and tools to earn the most credit card points on your purchases and just use Kudos. Kudos is an AI-powered browser extension that helps you earn more credit card rewards and benefits when you shop online. Kudos is like Honey, NerdWallet, and Apple Pay all rolled into one. So it's like Honey, but better. Kudos will help you pick the best credit card to use at over 3 million stores to guarantee that you always earn the highest rewards, points, or cashback possible. It's like NerdWallet, but easier to use. With Kudos' exclusive partnership with the Points Guy, you can discover new credit cards and get access to the best welcome bonuses available. And finally, Kudos is like Apple Pay. With Kudos, you never have to fill out your credit card info ever again. Just select the credit card that you want to use and Kudos will autofill your card info with just one click. And the best part, Kudos is totally free. So if you're ready to start earning more credit card rewards, points, and cashback, click the link below and sign up with my code SHIFU to get $20 back after your first eligible purchase. Get more out of your credit cards with Kudos.
The number one tip is don't search round trip. Only search one way. When you search one way, you'll find better availability and better pricing. Why? Well, if you search round trip and it only has one way, sorry, computer says no. But if you search one way, you'll find the one way that is available.
Yeah.
And because not as many people are doing that, there'll be a better price for it as well. So you'll get more availability and better pricing. So by searching and booking one way, better pricing, more availability, and more flexibility.
And this is for award trips, isn't it? Or
award trips only. You don't ever want to book through especially if you're going international, you always want to transfer your points out into a frequent flyer program. You'll pay a fraction of the amount. Okay, so the right search skills. Number one is always search one way. Second of all is understand where you're going. If you just search from wherever you're coming to wherever you're going, you're limiting yourself to maybe 5 or 10 flights that you're searching. But if you're searching one of the 3,000 flights a day between, say, America and Europe, well, then you're going to give yourself more options and better pricing. So let's say, for example, you're in New York. Don't just search New York to Paris if you want to go to the Olympics. Also search Boston. Also search Miami, DC, Texas. Search everywhere. You can always hop for an hour somewhere else to get a much better deal. Would you rather pay 400,000 points out of New York, or would you rather pay 50,000 points out of Miami? Great website, flightconnections.com. Go to flightconnections.com. It's totally free, and you can put in any airport, and it shows you where they fly to. So you can just put in your home airport and check all the other airports kind of within an hour or two of where you want to go, see if you can find a better deal.
So like if you live in New York, like me, you could always, if you go to flightconnections.com and you know where there's flights to, you could always check, say, for example, Boston, Miami, Atlanta, like a few other common ones.
And the same the other way around. If you can't find something good from where you're coming from, try searching, instead of going to Paris, going to Amsterdam or London or Zurich, and then you can always hop across. So especially on these longer journeys, if you're trying to get to the Middle East or Africa or Asia, you're going to have to stop anyway. You may as well take 2 cheap flights rather than 2 expensive ones, right? Yeah. Okay, so that's flight connections. Third thing is hubs. Understand that all flights work on these big airports that do lots of flights. They don't have every airport to every airport. So type in the hubs of the airline that you're searching. Just Google it. Say United hubs. You'll find out that Denver and Newark are hubs. If you search Delta hubs, you'll find out it's Atlanta. So you'll understand that you need to get to these places to get where you're going. And you can search it as 2 separate flights, not as one that goes all the way through. Last tip on search skills is airport codes. Okay. Most people make this huge mistake is they say, I'm going to London. I'm going to search London Heathrow. But there's not just one airport in London. There's 5 airports in London. So you can type this into Google, list of city airport codes, and you will find codes that search all of the airports in an area. For example,
London's
you can
LON, isn't it? I think.
That's right.
I know it.
You're cheating. But yeah, LON is London. For Tokyo in Japan, TYO. For Paris, PAR. And there's hundreds of these. So when you're searching next time, don't search an airport, search a city.
So that's Google for city airport codes, right?
City airport codes. So that's all that stuff is under having the right search skills. Let's move on to number 4. You ready for number 4?
Yeah.
The right miles and taxes. When you're searching mileage tickets, it's not just the amount of miles. It's also that you have to pay taxes. So understanding how taxes work is incredibly important. If you're flying around America, every flight will cost you $5.60 in taxes. But if you get it wrong on an international trip, you'll pay as much as $1,000 in business class trying to land back in Blighty, our old home in London. Yeah. So how do you avoid these taxes? Who charges what, where, and how? Well, here's what you need to know. The longer the trip, this is not for America. Domestically, everything's $5.60. But as soon as you leave America, you're paying more taxes. If you go on an American-owned airline, you'll still pay $5.60, but you won't because their prices are crazy on United, Delta, American, and JetBlue. You're going to end up going on KLM, Air France, Lufthansa, Iberia, Aer Lingus, British Airways, and Virgin Atlantic. So we need to talk about those. The longer the flights, the more taxes you'll pay. The higher the class, the more taxes you'll pay. So if you're flying into an airport that has expensive taxes, like London, you want to avoid flying from far away. So if you go via another hub in Europe, you'll save all the taxes. I live in Los Angeles. If I go business class to London, that's $1,000 in taxes. But if I go via Paris for 25 minutes and get a free omelette in the lounge, it's now 200 euros. So understanding how these things work is really, really important. Second, that's just the taxes. Then we will talk about the mileage. A business class ticket from America to Europe, as an example, in the best case scenario, is 45,000 points. You could do that on Virgin Atlantic during the winter from New York into London. You can do it on Iberia into Madrid. There's plenty of opportunity.
Actually, I think off-peak on Iberia, can you still get the 35,000 point one?
You can. They're slowly getting rid of it, but there's some great redemptions out there. And then you start adding in those transfer bonuses we were talking about earlier, and they get even cheaper. I've been on beds on planes all the way to Asia and back for 30,000 miles.
Wow.
But sometimes, not all the time.
Yeah, I have done something similar with a transfer bonus and got way more bang for the buck, because if the let's say going from US to Europe is 50,000, but if you're transferring with a 30% bonus, then you've only spent like maybe 40,000 or whatever. Well, I'm not going to do the math, but 40,000 of the original Amex points, or whatever bank's points. So yeah.
I mean, you can tell when you hear people like you and I talk, if you can get this stuff right, it's a lot of fun. Like I turned a multiple six-figure job. I left it to come and do this for a living because I love talking about credit cards, points and miles and beds on planes. Number 5, the right seats and airport access. Okay, so what do I mean by seats and access? First of all, you must always choose your seat on a plane. If you don't choose your seat on a plane, you'll be the first person that gets bumped if somebody needs bumping. There's a great website to choose your seat called seatguru.com. Seatguru.com. It's totally free. I never recommend things that cost money if I can. Seatguru.com, and they use a traffic light system. So you can pull up the flight that you're going to be on, and it will show you the whole layout. And it will be green seats for great seats, sit there, amber for it's okay, and red for don't sit there, it's near the restrooms, it stinks, or the seat doesn't recline, or the movie screen's broken, or whatever it is. So choosing your right seat is number 1. Second of all with that is on a travel day, I call them free travel days. On a free travel day, just because you got a free flight doesn't mean it was free to get to the airport, get through the airport, eat and drink, and everything else that you got to do. Well, it can be if you have the right credit cards. So when you're choosing that premium credit card, make sure you pick one that's got a travel credit that you can use for Uber or Lyft to get to the airport. Make sure you pick one that's got pre-check, global entry, and clear, all free, so you can get through the airport. And lastly, make sure you pick one that comes with priority pass, access to 1,300 lounges around the world, so that whatever airport you're at and you're waiting the annoying 2 hours for your flight, that you've got free food and drink, because the price of food and drink in the airport is astronomical. And those, sir, are my famous 5 for today.
That's awesome. Well, where can they learn more about your courses and products and stuff?
So I'll give you a link. I have a free course that people can watch, right? And I'll give you a link for that. You can put that in the pinned link. I'll also give you a link for the transfer chart. If you guys want to learn more about me, head over to my website, thepointspartner.com. I'm on all platforms. You name the platform, I'm there at The Points Partner, and I do tips every day, videos. And on my site, there's tons of stuff from the credit cards, courses, communities. I can help you find flights, book flights, and everything else in between.
Well, thanks so much, Owen. I've learned a lot, and I think the audience probably learned something too. So guys, don't forget, we'll put some of his links. I'll put his Instagram down there in the description as well. And if you want to download that chart and stuff, it's all down there. Also, this video was brought to you by Kudos. So if you want to sign up for that and get a free $20 when you sign up using my code SHIFU and make your first purchase, the link will be down below as well. Thank you so much, Owen, for appearing on the channel. And you guys, you can go over and subscribe to his YouTube channel as well. We'll put a link on screen, and subscribe to this channel if you're new. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.